where's this chat window at? Might have to open it up separate. Can I get to my stream, please? Pop out chat. There we go. Setting things up here. If anybody actually joins in, let me know how the sound goes. Mic compared to the audio. I know this is really late, but it's Friday. It's only 8:41 here in Las Vegas, which means it's like 11 going on 12 midnight over in the East Coast, which I know most people who have watched me were from the East Coast, but it is what it is. So, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be explaining the game plan a couple of times as people trickle in. But what I'm going to be working on tonight is recreations or versions of two old school EFED era characters that were inherited by my brother. Actually, it turns out he was the one who created them, as in the physical core creations of them for another person for use in our XWA EFED, who didn't play the games really, just did like the role plays and stuff like that. But long story short, I've inherited the rights, so to speak, to these two particular characters, and I have intend on using them in the XWA in this next phase of mine. And the first of which is a gentleman who goes by the name of Scott Odell. And this was a character that was based off of Mike O'Hearn, who some of you may know if you're as old as we are, as Michael Odell from the old American Gladiators ripoff, I guess we could call that. Unfortunately, it is what it was. It was called Battle Dome, and that was his stage name there, Michael Odell. He was kind of like a Roman god type character person, which incidentally I kind of incorporated into my character Angelus. But basically, Scott Odell is based off of Michael Odell, who is based off of Michael O'Hearn, who is a athlete bodybuilder. He was on Battle Dome. He also is on the reboot of American Gladiators as Titan, was his gladiator name. And he's pretty active on social media. Pretty sure you've seen the memes that he's been featured on that used like a slowed down version of I forgot the name of the song. What is Love? Where it's like, baby, don't hurt me. That guy, pretty much. But you'll recognize him when I get to the face touch-ups and stuff like that. But first and foremost, we're going to work on a new logo for him. So, since he's big on bodybuilding, and since Mike O'Hearn's gladiator name was Titan, I decided to go with a logo that looks kind of like a Titan. And incidentally, I used AI to generate this logo here and put Titan God silver logo. It winds up looking like a Titan from Attack on Titan. But I like the way it looks, so I'm going to go with it. Pretty much. So this is going to be the logo that will be on his gear. And I just have to come up with some text to go with it. Like, how am I going to make it look similar? And so now we go to the magic of Photoshop, which is where I will usually always start when I'm creating a car, just to be sure that I may need to update some graphics, textures, tattoo colors, or make brand new logos like I'm doing right now. So we're going to need something that's big and bold, that kind of fits into the style of the logo. I'm going to mess around with this one here. And let's just go with his last name. The design I have planned for him is going to be really kind of simple, but still pretty cool looking. I'm going to need to find my styles window right here. I don't know why it always makes me have to re-upload or import the styles that I've already imported into this game thing. Good evening, Pen. Yep. Scott Odell. Let me turn this down a little bit. So I kind of explained it, but I'm pretty sure you probably were not on stream when I explained the parameters here. But um, Odell was a character that my brother had created for someone else who is not actually a gamer. Uh, During the EFED era, he was just there for the role playing, and so I mean he made the core. He was kind of messing with it for a while, but then after a while he stopped. And long story short, for purposes of a storyline that I'm in the development of, I've asked or been trying to find a few guys to get permission to use their characters. And Odell is one of them. There's another character that he had that was old school XWA guy that I'm also going to be recreating. Then there was a character named Kane, that's Kayn, aka the Death Metal Colossus. Think big, burly, metal rocker type dude. So he was a former world champion in the EFED era. Odell was as well. So it's those two. It's Brian Yang, the third guy, and I'm going to be throwing in Cyrus the Entertainer, who is also a former XWA World Heavyweight Champion. And they're going to form themselves a faction, basically, called the Old Blood. That's the point of me having the name of the stream here. And yeah. The theme, if you could say, for this upcoming season, I guess we could call it season, of content that I'm going to be having for the XWA is going to be centered a lot around faction war of sorts. So there's going to be a lot of team ups, which is cool because it'll give me the chance to be able to utilize more characters at once, just to see how it goes. Do I want the last names there on the top? Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Let me turn this off. I will never save my files to the cloud. We don't need anybody stealing my shit. So, Odell 1. That'll be logo number 1. And for number 2, oh, yeah, I forgot. I rendered it. Back, 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 back. I might go with that. I like the reference. Oh, could you stop doing that? Undo. Turn that back into a text layer. Fear the Old Blood. see if I can work this around without having to round it. Then again, you know what? I think it might be better if I round it. Arc. This might do the trick. It's being very slow. You know what? There is an easier way to do this. Let's just get the whole word or phrase in there. Shrink it down. Now let's mess with that bend. Now, I just want to move you down. We'll have to bend it a little bit more. Let's get it centered. Is that centered? It doesn't look centered to me. The guides say it is though, but it doesn't look centered to my eyes. Man versus machine here. Let's move it over a little bit. Drop it down. Then window, character, and let's stretch this out a bit. Oh, I gotta finalize my choice first. Now let's go back in, select all, and space this out. Not quite what I was wanting, but let's see. Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, that works for me. That works for me, brother. Make that a little bigger. Oops. Change that to an arc again. This time we'll reverse it. And stretch it out. It doesn't quite look center, but that's because the way that the letters look. Let's rotate this a little bit. I kind of like that. Yeah. Let's bring the top one down too so that it's just touching the logo. It's kind of cool. Thank you, thank you. This is kind of the creative yet unglamorous part of the creation process. Going with the graphics and everything. But that's part of the magic. When you see how it all comes together in the finished product, it makes all the difference. And it's making me have to arc this thing like almost completely. Didn't think I needed to do that, but I guess we do. Let me rotate it just a little bit. And yeah. Save as. Odell 2. Save. now I just want a regular old name logo. I might put on the front of the tights or the boots or something. Center, center please. Whatever. Add our style. And this will be Odell 3. Alright, that takes care of the logos. Now, onto the face. Let's see. Now, those are my faces. We need to go here, call resources, morphs. Completed face textures. Now, does he have him as Odell under O, or does he have him under Scott? Let's find out. I think we can make some improvements on that face. Because, again, my brother liked to make symmetrical face textures, which is pretty easy to do, but it also kind of, how do I say it? It can make a face look too perfect, and nobody's face is actually perfect. I try to make my faces look a little more realistic, even if I'm doing the half and half thing to make them symmetrical. But it's been a while since I've done that. I usually just tend to use straight up faces. And the only thing I'm doing is retouching them to make the skin shades lighter so that they're not too pale on the car model. So what we're going to do is ye old Google search and try to find a decent face photo of Michael O'Hearn where he is not smiling. And I think I just found it. Yeah, that'll do. See if I can save it as a JPEG. No, they won't let me save it as a JPEG. So we're just going to use the snipping tool because fuck you, IMDb. I get what I want, damn it. Alright. Jump back into Photoshop and open up our snip. probably going to need to blow this up because it's obviously a small file. Where'd my chat go? Not that they're plastered on, it's just that it doesn't look, well, it looks too perfect. Like, you see symmetrical faces, they're not very common. You look at a face like somebody like Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie or, you know, beautiful people like that. They all have symmetrical faces. Like, to an extent, Michael O'Hearn's face is also symmetrical, but there's still like little things, nuances, and stuff like that that make it less, make a face look more natural, pretty much. And I'm gonna hope that I'm not gonna lose any image quality by blowing this up, but you just extract the facial portion. And we'll keep the 5 o'clock shadow. Let's get around there. Make our selection. Now I'll open up my face template. Yes. First was the fashion design portion, and now comes the plastic surgery portion. Where's my shader file? I know I named it shader, didn't I? Did I put it in the wrong folder? Let me see if it's in here. Shader. Yep, there it is. Alright. Click and drag. And yeah, we're gonna have to blow his face up. Let's match it up here. And now you see the purpose right here, if you're looking, why I have a shader file. Because if I were to use this face texture on the call right now, he would look as dark as Jason Jones. Because the shade of brown between them is almost near identical, and you know, Mike O'Hearn is not black. So we're gonna have to brighten that up a little bit, yeah. And so we will mess around. Oops. Mess around with the levels. No, we don't want to mess around with the layer mask. We want the levels. So you see, just messing with that one slider here made his whole skin tone brighten all the way up. And now we shave off some of the border here, so you don't see that on the face texture in game. Use whoops. We want a light eraser. And then just go around the sides. I know there's an app that does this, like Easy Face app I think it's called, but I'm old school. I use old school methods. Everything's done in Photoshop. We can keep the bottom because we're just going to put a beard on him anyway. And now we smudge. Yep, exactly. The old ways will never truly go out of style. Oops. I don't want that. What am I gonna do about this part here? Yeah, I think that'll work. There still might be some trial and error I'll have to do when I import the face texture in, because I don't know how it's going to look like on the face. Let's go ahead and go all the way to the top. Let's make sure eyes and the mouth are placed in the correct position. Let's drop this down a little bit. That should be okay, but we'll find out in a few minutes. Alright. Time to open up 2K's website. Odell. Open. And let's get the logos too. If it all works out, this is going to be very, very quick because Odell's look has always been very, very streamlined, like old school power wrestler. There's nothing very complex about his ring attire, and he has no tattoos. So that's like 90% of work that doesn't even need to be done for him. Though I may want to consider trying to see if I can create a texture of O'Hearn's chest. If I can find a full front photograph of him with no shirt on that has good lighting. Kind of like this one. Right back to IMDb. Where was that? Do they have a gallery? So I don't have to scroll through all these things. Okay, where'd that picture go? I have been bamboozled. Where is this thumbnail? False advertising. See if I can find something else. That's actually a pretty good face shot. That one's even better, but I like the one I got, so we'll stick with that. Where's that thumbnail again? I'm just gonna have to use the snipping tool again, I suppose. Oops. Can I get this bigger? Open image in new tab. There you go. There we go. Alright. Save. We will mess around with that later. For now, we get into the game. I've never even watched Seven Deadly Sins. I don't watch TV too much. There's so many shows I need to get into though, like that. I got coworkers and other people saying you got to start watching this. This is cool. I got a pretty long list right now. Unable to communicate with the 2K server at this time. Really? You're gonna make me have to restart, huh? Fantastic. I don't have anything to drink. I gotta do some shopping tomorrow. Don't try this at home, kids. New live events. Brand new My Faction packs. Spend, spend, spend. Money, money, money. Just as far as shows are concerned, I got The Penguin, which people say is really good and I should check out. What else is there? Well, The Penguin is really on the top of my list. As far as anime is concerned, haven't really looked a whole lot. Like I caught up with Bleach, which is like a couple of years old now, so I was really behind on that one. And caught up on anything else that I was actually interested in. Maybe Dragon Ball Daima, because I've heard that that's really, really good. Even though it's using Kid Goku, like it's good. So I've heard. So maybe I'll check that out at some point. wow, this just taking forever to just download images. I wouldn't be surprised if that's already been done before, probably, at some point. Like, anime and wrestling just go together extremely well. Because both are so deeply ingrained into Japanese culture that it's just like easy. And did we freeze? No, we didn't. I did not download all of my images, so why are they all gone? Okay, let's check something out here real quick. I might as well just get started on the base first anyway, and we'll worry about the logos later because I can just re-upload them. Oh yeah, don't stop for anybody. Like I always say, inspiration is everywhere. And yeah, the default face is still unable to be morphed. So yeah, while they worry about microtransactions and my faction, they still can't even fix bugs in the call mode. Like, is there ever a stream that I will do where I won't complain about the front end of this game or back end of this game? Probably not. It's to the point now where I might as well just stop complaining because it's not gonna change. They're not gonna fix it. Not this year. And I won't be here next year for it, so whatever. Let's go with this one, I guess. And that is way too much yellow. God damn it. Yeah. Whoever does the call models, like the calibration of this, is like, what are you doing? Like, how does that image look like that on the model? Like, the color is not even close to being the same. Yikes. All right. Yep. So what we're gonna need to do here is remove or try to get some of this yellow out of the side, the left side here. And the only way to do that is trial and error. Maybe we might have to darken him a little bit. That's green. That's red. And that's blue. We want less yellow, maybe a little bit more red in the hue. Let's see if we mess around with the hue and the saturation. Get him looking a little more bronze. Everything else is fine. It's just the hue. We're going to save a couple of copies here. Let's do one, overwrite that. Let's save a second version. It's a little more pale. And a third one that is a little smoother. Now we'll upload them all. Now on screen it looks great. That doesn't seem to translate too well in the game though. Back, back, back. One of these has got to work. All right. 3 shades of face. I really hope the tan one comes out looking the best though, because I want him to have that bronze bodybuilder type of look. But we'll see. Three Shades of Odell. Yes, exactly. Four, technically. Okay, well, the pale one looks cool. Nope, the tan one's still got a lot of yellow on that side. I don't know if that would be passable. And what? Let's just go forward with it and see how it looks in the end. And if anything, I'll just jump back and use something else. Bring that down. Bring out the edges of the nose, just so it matches the nostrils. I don't really have to do anything to the eyes. Those are placed pretty well. Skin color. Yeah, that's not working for me, dog. No. Well, we tried. Ain't my fault. It's this crappy ass game and it's crappy ass color calibration. Now I'm just hoping that the skin matching here doesn't end up being like super freaking pale. I'm not particularly confident, however. Let's see how the pink tone looks. Too much variation in the face. Hmm. So yeah, it's in situations like this where you have to do some advanced level shenanigans to get things going here. Hello, Crow. Yeah, we're late because it's late. I mean, over in the west east coast, it's only 9:47 here, so that's 10, 11, 12, almost 1 o'clock on the east coast. So it would be late for you guys. I'm doing trial and error here, trying to get a properly calibrated face onto a call model. The game is not helping me. Yeah, like digging in the crates there, trying to find that rare groove. I know how that feels. I wish I could be of more assistance in the search. So this would be a rare occurrence where I would go and make the symmetrical face, but we still want to get a little bit of realism, particularly if you notice you got this line here right in between where it cuts off. We gotta do something about that. So there isn't going to be any point here where it will not cut off without you just going all the way through. So what I'll do is use the smudge tool and just smudge that middle line towards the other side of the face so that it blends in to where you don't see it. Hello, Neos. Welcome. bring in the big booms. Okay, we're going to merge those together. Zoom this out. It's kind of passable. I wish I could say good things about the game modes in this game, but realistically, call mode is the only thing that's even kept me interested in it for as long as I have been. I want to stretch the eyes out a little bit more. No, that's not going to work. Split warp horizontally. Nah, we need vertical. I'm gonna have to take action myself with the face here. Just using the tools, which is why I use Photoshop as opposed to any other apps. Let's see if this does it. Nope. Damn it. You got to give Ricochet credit for trying at least. I mean, he's doing the best he can. If anything, I would say that that's a critique on the WWE's Performance Center as far as he goes, because he did spend time on the PC and he was on NXT before he got called up to the main roster. Maybe they shouldn't have called him up to the main roster as fast as they did. Now, I say that knowing that when he was called up, this was still in the Vince McMahon era, and they would bring people up from NXT and not even know what it is that they did on NXT. But in any case, Ricochet should have been kept down there long enough for him to work on all of that before he even stepped foot onto the main roster. Well, yeah, That is true, but WWE are the first ones to talk about how you have to have the full package, and they don't really do anything to help people develop that package. Like if the trainers at the performance center knew that his shortcoming was his promos, then that should have been where they focused on. And I don't think they did that. Well, that whole you have it or you don't thing is just, it's kind of true, but it's kind of not, because there have been talent that has started out not being as good as they are compared to how they are now. AJ Styles is a good example of this, because in TNA he was pretty much just a work guy. He didn't cut any promos or anything like that. He was just, the face of the X division. He had the high spots, he had the cool moves, and that was it. He didn't talk on the mic, and when he did talk on the mic, it wasn't the best. It wasn't anywhere close to how it is that he promos now. It wasn't until they put him in that three-man faction with Christian Cage and Tyson Tomko that he learned how to cut promos. He learned how to promo from working with Christian. Like, it's not even about having a manager. That's obviously one way to do it. But if you put guys into situations where they're working with other guys who might have better skills than they do in certain aspects, then that could rub off on them. Now, in the case of Ricochet in WWE, you had that faction team up, whatever it is that you want to call it, for like a couple of months, that they had between him, Malachi Black, Aleister Black, whatever you want to call him, and Mustafa Ali. That could have worked. That could have helped him, because Malachi Black is good at promos. Mustafa Ali is good at promos. So some of that could have rubbed off on him, but then they just broke it up for no reason, and everybody was just left to do whatever it is that they had to do. And that's a big problem with WWE. They don't, with the exception of the Bloodline, they don't really stick to anything long term or let things build naturally. They've only started doing it the last 3 years, really. I mean, the Bloodline storyline and everything that's building up from that. But that's only one thing, and it's only got a handful of people, but you got a whole roster of other wrestlers, and it's like, okay, what can we do with all of these people here? Nothing. DDP versus Raven versus Benoit. Yeah. When you look back on certain matches and you watch the videos, like, I guess because we're older now, we have a more greater appreciation of these type of matches. Like you'll have matches that have been on freaking TV, like WCW Saturday Night, like a match between Eddie Guerrero and Psychosis, and you're looking at it now from the lens of wrestling as we know it now and how familiar we are with so many different styles, and we're like, this is an awesome match, and it was on TV. This should be a pay-per-view match. Yeah. Um, Current day NXT is good, but it will never beat that black and gold era when it was just all of the Indian Japanese guys that they had signed, and that was the brand. Like if they just stuck with that, then it still would have worked. I think NXT would have probably surpassed Raw and SmackDown, but that was the reason why they busted it all up, because they didn't want that to happen. Yeah. Um, Everything in that SmackDown era of like the early 2000s um, was awesome work. Like at that point, in my opinion, the that era of SmackDown was the A show. That was the time when SmackDown beat Raw. When you had Benoit, you had Angle, you had Brock on SmackDown, you had Eddie Guerrero on SmackDown. That was like SmackDown was the wrestling show. Like you watched Raw if you wanted to see sports entertainment. You watched SmackDown if you wanted to see pro wrestling. Yeah, Prime Joe. I'll say Prime Joe was like what could have been Prime Joe was his run in WWE before he started getting injured, unfortunately. Because Joe was a savage when he got called up. Like he was just cutting up everybody on the mic. Um, I don't think tag teams have ever been that important in WWE. I'm sorry to say, for a long, long time. Just because they added a new championship or added new championships, it was still just B League. They never took tag team wrestling seriously. They they still don't. Not since the Attitude Era, pretty much. What am I gonna do with these eyes? Let me try something here. I want to stretch these eyes out so that they're not so close to each other, which is one of the big problems I have with doing this whole symmetrical thing. So, what we're going to do here is create a new layer just for the eyes. Yeah, the Attitude Era belts, all of them were the best. That whole era had the best belts. The world title, the Intercontinental Championship, the tag team titles, everything about the Attitude Era was just special. make them bigger. I just want to make them wider. Whoops. The big gold belt is definitely one of the best looking titles I've ever seen. In my opinion, the three best looking championship belts of all time is the Attitude Era WWE Championship, the big gold belt, and the IWGP third belt, the third world championship. That was the one that that was the one that Brock Lesnar had, and then Kurt Angle won, and that's the one that they had through the Tanahashi and Okada era of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Those are the three best looking belts. NWA Championship, yeah, that looked cool. My problem with the title belts nowadays is that, at least in WWE, they kind of look more like billboards. They're like props. They're not so much about the championship anymore. They just like have too much logos on it, too much WWE on it. Yeah, I agree. Raven was kind of like in a transitional phase for TNA when he was the top guy there. I don't think they really invested in him as much as they should have. But you got to remember, back in those days, that was when Jeff Jarrett was in charge. So he was about investing in himself. I agree with you on that one. Raven and RVD, like ECW era. Um, no, I haven't seen it yet. Hmm. We're gonna go with this edit here and see how it looks. Save as. There's definitely a lot of stuff that I gotta watch. uh, I was talking about that earlier. There's a lot of shows and things of that nature that I have to catch up on, that not catch up on, like just watch, period, that I just haven't. Getting all of these stories about the the untold stories of pro wrestling. That doesn't surprise me there. Um, I think, what is it? The most common injuries in pro wrestling are concussions, uh, knee injuries, and yeah, concussions, knee injuries, and muscle injuries, like torn muscles. Surprisingly, not neck injuries. Those are very uncommon. It's just that the times that they've happened are noticeable because they were big stars who had neck injuries. Like Stone Cold had a neck injury. Uh, who else? Lita had the neck injury. Darren Drozdov had the neck injury, got paralyzed from that pile driver. Who else? Stone Cold, Droz, Lita, Edge had neck injury. Yeah. Okay, please work. X Division match. Okay, what happened with this injury? Ugh. I'm just thinking about the one that, for me, is the worst wrestling injury that I've seen. There's two of them. Uh, the worst that I can remember is when Hayabusa broke his neck, messing up the. He was trying to do an Asai moonsault and he pushed off the ropes the wrong angle and landed backwards on his head, and he was instantly paralyzed. Like my neck twitches just thinking of looking at that. Uh, watching that happen. That's just ugh. Yeah, that Daniels injury was pretty brutal too. And the other one was also in TNA. This was when Sammy Callahan accidentally hit Eddie Edwards full force in the face with a baseball bat and broke his orbital bone. That was ugh, that was brutal. Yeah, it's a rough sport. Like it's a good thing that these things don't happen as often as they do, but yeah, still not fun to watch. Yeah, he had that Vicky heat for a while after that one. Like not just being heel heat, but being we don't like you heat. Like we wish many, many bad things upon you and your family heat. And in other news, I won the face war. Whoops, I forgot to put the damn screen up. Okay, there's our facial improvement. Much better. That that is that's perfect. The magic of Photoshop, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just tweak some things here. We'll have to shift some things around. No. Enzo, well, Simon Gotch had some legitimate heat against Enzo. He genuinely did not like Enzo. So that was that was definitely a shoot. Photoshop is a wonderful thing. Yes, it is. I was saying earlier that's the reason why I still use it, as opposed to these face apps that other people out there use. And why is the face not moving? Why? Is this the right face? No, it's not the right face. I forgot to change the template. Fuck. Ah, we should be fine. Yeah. GIMP works too. GIMP works too. See, the thing with graphics programs is you have more options to, you know, alter and change stuff around. Whereas with the face apps, it's kind of like done for you. It's AI algorithms and whatever it is that they use. Photoshop just and GIMP gives you more control over what it is that you're trying to change. And this is one of my favorite songs, so I'm gonna rewind that. Spin that one back, DJ. All right. Are you telling me I can't alter this either? What did they do? Can't do nothing with the eyes. Okay, you don't hear any music? I thought it was playing in the background. Like I got the desktop audio on. Are you not able to hear it? Let me see something here. That's strange. Okay. Weird. Because I'm getting the music on my audio levels here in OBS. So I can hear it in my headphones. I thought that was what was outputting. So you can't hear the game either? Like if I'm hitting buttons or making selections, there's no sound effects? Oh, I don't know how to fix that. So you can't hear the cursor moving in the game? Hmm. We're going to need to fix that. That's gonna be a problem when I start recording simmed content. But in other news, he's got the tan going. We're gonna go with that. Do we have the game audio here now? Just let me know if you hear it. want it to be too loud. Yes, please let me know. Okay, so we can hear the game now, but you still can't hear the music. Hmm. Alright, I just changed some settings. Let me know if that did anything for the audio. Forgot to change the head size. I wish I could do more with the face, but kind of limited on that. How do they make hair textures to get bangs, waves, and other stuff? Um, they just extract images from photographs and make them into transparencies in Photoshop and just throw them on the cause, like the same way you would with a tattoo. Before I do anything, let me give him his facial hair. See how I can get that to work. Something to go all across the bottom half. have like a 5 o'clock shadow? Yes, they do. Yeah. Uh, the Killmonger killed everything. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I had a Batman logo cut into my head too. That was the style back then. But the Killmonger is the most overused, overrated hairstyle I've ever seen in my entire life. They put that on Eddie Gordo and Tekken, and I was like, okay, enough is enough. This is unacceptable. So we're gonna go with the slightly long hair version of Mike O'Hearn. I know exactly what style I want to give him, but I just gotta find it. Yeah, the glass cups. It didn't take much to satisfy us back then. Like McDonald's glass cups was like all you needed. Like, oh wow, this is awesome. There goes the hair. That looks good. Yeah, that looks really good. And now for the eyes. Kinda, sorta. the o- the Odell character was always on that kind of power bodybuilder type of vibe. Little Lex Luger, excuse me, inspired. And I think I'll definitely mess around with the body texture to see if I can get that going too. I just don't like the red on the sides of the cheeks, but whatever. It ain't gotta be perfect. If you were at the start of the stream, then you would have heard me say that I kind of try to create some imperfections. So yeah, we'll just go with that. Now, do I want to make the hair a little more pale or stick with that yellow, bright yellow? We'll stick with that for now. Um, no, I'd rather keep with the 5 o'clock shadow. Like it's not really that big of a deal. The red, it's just me nitpicking. Because if I gave him a beard, then he would look too similar to how it is that I plan on making Angelus look. For him, I'm going full blown Greek Roman god style appearance. Long blonde hair, big beard. He's gonna look like Zeus. I don't want Odell to look too much like that. All right. The attire is going to be really, really, really simple. Because there's no need for us to overcomplicate this. He's an old school type power wrestler. So he'll have an old school type power wrestler look. Done. Might as well go with the boots. Knee pads, knee pads. Hmm. Do we want big knee pads or open knee pads? I like the open ones on them. Give them some product placement, of course. Uh, no, I haven't really been paying attention to anything in the community, so to speak. Even though I thought that he like retired or stopped making cause, so that's kind of a surprise there. that's a big reason why I never really got involved with anybody else, like working with other people, because I kind of learned my lesson from the EFED days, having to deal with a lot of egos, which I mean is not a bad thing, but it's just one of those things that you could do without. That's kind of a trade-off of working a solo production as far as being a creator as opposed to being on part of a larger group or show or clan or what have you. You don't have to deal with people's drama. That's the plus, but the minus is that you don't have anybody to help you work on anything. So you're pretty much doing everything by yourself. I've never heard of those guys. He's got that Obafemi style rap going. Yeah, like I said, I don't really watch too many other people's shows anymore. Okay, material is not changing. Whatever. Maybe like a handful of other creators out there, but not a whole lot. You don't get a whole lot of opportunities to do that when you're a creator yourself, unfortunately. A lot of your time is spent more doing your own thing. Yes, folks, I think we're done with this one. Let's drop back into Photoshop real quick. So I can see what I can do with that body texture I found. Open. What I'm going to do later probably is download the version that exists that I know of in 2K23, I want to say, was the last time that Odell was created, and just check his movesets from there. And try to copy that as much as I can in 2K23's game. I know there's some moves that are probably not in the game anymore. Copy that. Create a 512. Paste. And we're gonna have to do some feathering here. Let's get those dark patches off. Only thing I really need is the pecs and the abs. And do some warping. Nope, that's not going to work. Let's try to put that here and see what happens. There we go. That's what we needed. Just straighten out the belly portion a little bit. See how that looks. Yeah, that'll work for me. Now for the color. Let's close that. Maybe I can change that here. Hold on. Adjustments, hue and saturation. We want it to be more brown. Brownish. We'll start from here and tweak it accordingly. Abs. Save. Let's save our base in game. Hope that the game doesn't crash. Upload the apps, the abdominals. Nobody has confirmed if you can hear the music or not. Somebody else in the chat aside from Crow, if you're in here, can you let me know? Oops. Or I can just check on my phone. Okay. Can confirm that the music is on. It was just on too loud. I just turned it down. Alright. the abs look tanned enough, but the image, unfortunately, doesn't always translate onto the call model the way that it does by itself. So, once again, we'll have to do some trial and error. As soon as the game loads. Oops. Upper body. This looks like it might work. Like the body color is almost identical. There's a little bit of red, but we can fix that. Or not. I'm gonna have to stretch it all the way out. Let's mess with the opacity. Nah, it's too much red. Scheisse. Gonna need to make this longer.
I breathe you in and count to 10. I can sleep in this town.
And probably smudge it out some.
I'm not begging now. I'm where the lights go out. The pavement calls, I'm yours again. Here I want to be found. I'm covered in chrome. Somewhere now where I can breathe. Alone in the empty streets. The city sleeps. I'm somewhere now where I can breathe. Alone in the empty streets. The night crawls up my spine. It raises hairs beneath my skin. The shadows in my mind.
This should hopefully
They're not welcome now. And
be the fix.
the pavement calls and pulls me in. Here I want to be found. Where I'm covered in chrome. Somewhere now where I can breathe.
Alright.
Alone in the empty streets.
We need to make this less red.
Somewhere now where I can breathe. Alone in the empty streets. My heart beats. Somewhere now where I can breathe. Alone in the empty streets. The city sleeps. Somewhere now where I can breathe.
try this one. It's kind of yellowish brown. Trial and error, right? That's what we do. Back. Take two. Now that image looks kind of yellow to me. But we'll see how it looks in game. If I can get away with dropping the opacity and getting it to match the rest of the skin tone, that's fine with me. Too yellow. God damn it. I just gotta get the color right. Placement is fine, it's just the color. Yeah. We're gonna worry about that another time. Go ahead and work on the rest of them. Do I want to give him a shirt or a jacket? Is the question. Like a muscle shirt. Problem with most of the tank tops is that they're all tucked in. Do we want to go to Scott Hall? Or do we got that Mike Tyson one in here still? I know they didn't take it out. Maybe I'm in the wrong category. This is why you bookmark things, friends. So you don't spend all day searching for something. Yeah, that's the Tyson one, but I'm not feeling it. What else do we got? There goes the Tyson one. Go all black, or do we want white? Let's see how it looks with white. Yeah, I like it. We're going with it. Okay, what the heck is going on here? Really? It mirrors itself. That's the weirdest thing. 2K, can y'all get anything right? Wow. Okay. Well, no back logo then. That's ridiculous. I think I want to give him some neck decoration. Yeah, let's give him some bling. So he's not looking too basic. I like it. Figure out what we're doing with second attire later. I know you have Scott. Come on. Thank you. Pose. Why you have to give him that feminine pose? He's not. He doesn't. He's not like that. I think I want to go without the shirt. That looks good. He came out really good. That's awesome. I think my brother would definitely be proud of that one. That look. So yeah, this version of him is going to be a face, kind of like a tweener more than a face, but we'll have him act accordingly. Where is he from? Gonna have to look that up. Washington, apparently, so yeah. Is it Tacoma or Seattle? We'll make it Tacoma. Save. just gonna do his entrance and victory, and then I'm gonna call this stream a wrap. Did I download the WCW pack? I don't know. I guess I'll check to see here. Because if I did, wouldn't they have Lex Luger's entrance? Because he was in there, right? But he does not seem to be in there. Different name, maybe? I don't know. Let me just keep looking. Until there's something else. Let's see how this looks. Mr. Athletic. I don't recall seeing this one before. It's a decent face entrance. Face Samoa Joe. Let's see what this one looks like. This was EC3s. I might go with that. I actually kind of like it. It fits his style. Just gotta change a few things around. It's Roman Reigns 1. Con the Pyro. See how that looks. Yeah, that was awesome. Winner. Just change the lighting. Max. Something. We want the lights to be off, is what we want. There's a list online for you to check for that. Remember when you can preview this without having to select them one by one? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Sense. I'm doing alright, just working on a entrance for Mr. Scott Odell, as you can see here. Then I'm gonna call it a night because I've been on for like 3 hours working on this guy. entrance where he's just walking out with the championship, not on his waist. Generic it is, I guess. Music really doesn't matter because I have the music turned off anyway, but gotta pick something up. That'll do.
Here is your winner, Scott! Here is your winner, Scott! Here is your winner, Scott! Here is your winner, Scott.
Yeah, I'll check it.
Here is your winner, Scott. Here is your winner, Scott. Here is your winner, Scott. Here is your winner, Scott.
I love when the options are quick.
Here is your winner, Scott.
Okay, so all it would be now is a move set, and that's gonna take another couple of hours. So I think it would be a safe time to call it a night and continue this on tomorrow. Work on Brian Yang as well. And yeah. Let's keep the party going. So yeah, to all 8 concurrent viewers that have stuck around through this whole process of trial and error in Photoshop and color correction and things of that nature. Thanks for hanging out. Once again, seeing my creation process and all the trials and tribulations that go with it. I'll see if I can get back on at some point tomorrow. I'll be off from work, so I will have time. Hopefully I can get on earlier. But aside from that, it's been fun. And again, thanks for stopping by. And I'll see you next time.